Just click.
Go live. Okay. Can you check from your phone? And stream started. Okay, concurrent viewers, 4, 3 likes. We're live. Straight from Myco Studios.
Yeah, it's live now.
Okay.
Amazing.
Let's just wait until how many people come in?
Well, I'll try to, hey guys, we're live. We are coordinating between being on Twitter Space and here on YouTube Live. So if you're listening to us on Twitter Space, you can check out onto our YouTube at Myco and see us on live video there. How are you? Look who we're with.
Hey. How have you been, Ran?
I've been good. Good. Of course, we were at Token 2049. Good? Yeah?
Can you hear me? Yeah? Is the audio fine? Yeah?
I'm about to find out. Yeah, all good.
All good?
All good.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Kassan.
Yeah, thank you.
See you guys. Good luck.
See
See
you.
you later.
So I guess we'll just wait for a few people to join us, right? So I'm looking at Twitter.
Okay, we've got a few more people. See here, invite the host.
No, I don't need to. I mean, I'm just there just to stay there because...
Oh, I mean, just for the people listening just on Twitter Space, so they can hear us here.
So you want to use my phone for that?
Yeah, okay. You can keep the micro. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter.
So is the microphone also connected to...
No, you have to use a headphone.
Okay, so then I should get my...
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just quickly go and grab mine. Yeah. 1 sec.
Okay, guys. Give us some time. We are coordinating. I don't think we've tried this live on Twitter or on Twitter Space and on YouTube Live. So the idea is that people can watch us on video on YouTube Live, but those people tuning in to our Twitter Space will be able to listen to us also. So let's see. Welcome, guys. Dasith in here, RJ Tate, Moth. Guys, just so you know, we are also streaming on YouTube Live right now. If you want to watch us on video, you can go to Myco on YouTube, and we're live there on video if you want to check us out. So. Amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a co-host, but I can't turn my mic off.
What's up here?
No, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll just keep it on here, huh? We'll see if it'll pick up both of us. If yours isn't working.
No, I'll just leave and join back.
Okay. Hey guys, I see a couple new people in here. We're also live on YouTube. If you want to check us out on video, we're there. We're just making some final touches.
Hi. Yeah, you can hear me now, right?
I have to invite you to co-host, no?
I think I'm a speaker already. So that should be fine.
Say something again?
Hello.
I don't hear you on here.
Don't?
Okay, now try.
Hello.
I wonder.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, that's because I had YouTube open.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Amazing. So we should be good to go.
Yeah. Have you checked YouTube?
I just had to turn it off to hear you on, but it works now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're showing 142.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I guess we should start. It's really nice to be here with Ryan after a while. You know, I know you've been doing this regularly, but I think now is about the time that I also wanted to get back to speaking to the community directly and giving a lot of amazing updates. There are some fabulous updates coming your way in the next 3 to 4 weeks. But I really wanted to start with setting up an underlying understanding on the big announcements that are going to come in and what is it that we've been up to for the past 10-11 months. So yeah, but I just want to start with you, Ryan. How was your trip to Token 2049? I know you spent like 7 days over there.
Yeah, it was the biggest crypto event I've ever been to. I met so many people from a partnerships perspective. It was amazing. I made so many connections, and I was talking to Phil about this, and I was telling him like how sometimes when you work here daily, it's just problem solving, and you don't see like the amazing like big picture until you speak to other people, and they're like, their eyes get big and they get excited, So it's like very refreshing for me to speak to people like this.
That's so true. By the way, we'll keep reminding you that we're also live on YouTube. So if you want to go and see us on YouTube while you're listening on Spaces, that would be great. We used to do this a lot on YouTube. Me and Ryan, we used to stay live a lot. But yeah, I think Token 2049 is one of the biggest events within the Web3 space. We become really selective now in how we approach industry events within crypto and Web3 because we believe that now, we are a project that is primed to be a top 100, top 200 project over the next couple of years. And because of that, we need to be really selective, right? So there was a huge event actually happening in Dubai, but we were not there because the quality of projects, the quality of founders, speakers, it's not really refined. It's called Crypto Expo. And, our experience with that event is that from last year, even if you compare to last year, the people who participated in that event and spoke on panels, a lot of them don't even have projects anymore, right? So we really need to be prudent in a way that we're only seen attending the top events in the world, which is the likes of obviously Token 2049 being one of them.
Yeah.
And Consensus, as you guys know, hopefully we should have some presence over there as well as the Future Blockchain Summit, which is going to be, the biggest thing in October in our hometown itself. So how do you want to go about this, Ryan? Because you will have to, channel the conversation. You do understand that I'm doing this after a while, but yeah, I have a lot to talk about. But yeah, you be the host here.
Because with me, and I even on the Teams meeting on Friday, I said everybody watch, because when I have you on an AMA, it's easy for me. I don't have to say anything.
That's hilarious.
I know you're giving updates about different things.
Yeah.
Do you want to save maybe the best update for last? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think we're building on YouTube. As I can see now, there's almost 350 people. So okay, I'll talk about what we've been doing, right? And a lot of and I will also try and address some concerns from the community that I recently read on Twitter. And that's the primary reason I wanted to come here myself, right? So in the bear market, I think there are two types of founders and teams that are building within the Web3 space, because, when there is a bear market, some of them are, basically stall their operations and they're just trying to sustain, and they don't really have a growth roadmap. They don't really have a plan to revive their community. They don't really have a plan to go into monetization in terms of revenue, and they don't really know how to thrive based on the fundamentals of a project, right? So what Myco has been doing for the past year and a half, and obviously we've been in this bear market since the market started declining for a year and a half. We actually saw this as an opportunity, and the progress that we've had is simply incredible and brilliant. So today, as things stand, you're talking about a streaming platform that started with a very small community. We started the company on Telegram, practically on Telegram and Twitter. And, when we did that first ICO for M Content, I still remember, we used to be live for like 22 hours out of 24 hours. We used to sleep for 2 hours. And then,
I think your mic on Twitter went off.
All right. Okay. 1 second.
All good.
Yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah. So, and we used to stay on for like 22 hours. We were online, and at that point in time we didn't really have a product. We had a vision, right? And a lot of people, what they do in the Web3 space, from what we've seen, is that they come and they have ideas, they write really nice white papers, and then they build a community and they raise money, and then eventually somehow they disappear or they fade away, whether it's intentional or unintentional. But, for us, that day when we did our first ICO, and it was, again, because we were not experts in crypto, the launchpad that we used was DXA, which is obviously not the best of launchpads. And, after those 22 hours a day for 40 days, getting people to believe in us, we were able to raise, $1 million in 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And the way I personally looked at it was that, okay, this is validation of the fact that we're about to build something huge. And our approach to this has always been that was the starting point. And from them onwards, and again, I do understand and accept that, some of the team members highlighted that the communication has not been optimal, because many a times you guys don't even know about all the progress that is happening and how that progress is actually translating into the success of the community and our crypto investors as well, because that is extremely crucial and important to us, right? So yeah, we took it as a mission. The moment we had those, that $1 million that we raised in the ICO, and obviously we locked the entire liquidity, as you guys know. But more than that, it was a passionate group of community members that really inspired us to build the streaming platform of the future. And we've been doing it. I mean, with the numbers that we have today, I don't think anyone in the community doubts the fact that we've been building something that will become the content platform of the future. You're talking about a platform today that has more than 2.5 million users. Our MAUs have gone up to 1 million a month now, got more than 300,000 videos on the platform. There are 900 influencers publishing content on the platform. We've got more than 1,000 watch hours of premium content. We've got 50 originals that are sitting on the platform today, circulated, distributed, sold to amazing platforms like Amazon Prime. These are things that we started ourselves with you as a community. You all should be proud of this. You're currently, we have funded another 200 projects that are in the pipeline. We've created a very strong Film 3 community as well, not just here in Dubai, obviously within Dubai with the Dubai Film Society, but also all across the globe with the partnerships that we have. And most importantly, we've been able to live stream more than 100 plus sporting events. We just announced that I don't know how many of you saw the press release, but we just announced that we will be live streaming the Cricket World Cup in one of our markets where we operate in. And again, this is huge, right? And somehow or the other, I feel that there is a communication gap in the sense that the community does not understand how this is going to be beneficial for our token holders. Because believe us, everything that we do, every effort that we make, every breath that we take at Myco is for the token holders. It's all for the community. And unlike popular opinion and unlike what, all the other projects are doing, whereby they are actually generating liquidity from selling tokens and then trying to run a successful business. Right. We've actually been doing the complete opposite, right? And some people think that, after the launch was successful and we had like a small run as well as far as the market cap and the growth of the token was concerned. Some people feel that today the business that we've built, which is, roughly in all, you're talking about $4 million in revenue that we've done till now since we started the company. And all of this great progress is driven or financially supported by selling the token. No, that's one of the biggest reasons I wanted to be here and explain how this works is that, so after the successful launch of the token, we also did an equity round, right? In parallel, we were doing an equity round because at that point in time, if we wanted to use the token to bring liquidity by selling the token and paying salaries to people or building our office and our studios or doing all of these productions or getting the streaming rights, that would have been wrong. That would have killed the project. That would have killed the community, right? So the way that we did it was that we actually went out and we raised equity capital from some of the top institutions. And Myco till now has actually M-Content formerly, now Myco, obviously rebranding. Rebranding also was a huge expense, as you do understand the fancy platform that you see today, obviously it also costs a lot, right? So all of that investment came from the equity side, and the equity investors were people who believed in the founders and their team, and they're people who still believe in the founder and the team. They're some of the top institutions here in the UAE, right? And they funded us with an understanding that we're going to build a business using that funding, and that business one day will start giving value accrual and positive value flow into the token economy, right? Unfortunately, how the token design and the economics and the monetary policy currently was structured was not in its best state, right? And we all need to accept that most of us, when we started the company, obviously we were not experts in terms of designing token economics, and we weren't working with the best firms at that point in time. So there were several weaknesses, and the largest weakness being that while our watch and earn model is superb and great, what happens is that when people earn tokens by consuming content, they tend to sell them, right? Because it is at a point, a lot of those people are ones that actually need the money, and they're actually consuming content only because of the fact that they're making tokens, which is fundamentally a flaw in any play to earn, watch to earn, design. And that is why we realized this very early, and we started calling ourselves watch and earn, right? But what is the difference between watch to earn and watch and earn? Ryan, you want to take that? What's your understanding? Because I don't want to be the only one speaking. Yeah. And then I'll come back.
No, I think for me, I think you kind of touched on it. I think watch to earn is people just there for earning, just there to make money, right? Yeah. But watching and earning, what we have quality content on the platform, which I think it goes with like the open wallets on the platform. I think there's a lot of people there for quality content. And I think those are the people we want on the platform. And I think that's what's going to drive our platform is the successful content. So I think for me, that's the difference.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. That's the difference. But more so, it is also a difference of designing how the platform operates, right? Which basically means that we realized early that every eyeball has a different value, right? So, and now, as a simple experiment, some of you, I know there's a lot of people on YouTube, so some of you may not even know about Myco. So, but now if you download the app or you even go to our website, which is myco.io, and you create an account, which is you can actually connect your Google account to Myco. And as soon as you log in, you watch any video that you see on the top funnel, whether it's a live sport that's happening or any of the videos that are there, you'll see that a pre-roll ad gets played, right? And that pre-roll ad is basically the programmatic exchanges of the world are assigning a value and a profile to you, which connects to the advertisers that want to advertise to you as an individual, right? So the ad that you see is not chosen by Myco. It is chosen based on your eyeball by the exchanges, right? Which basically means that the ad that Ryan is going to see is going to be different from the ad that I see. The ad that some of you sitting in Bangladesh are going to see is going to be completely different from the ads that Phil right now, who's sitting in UK, is going to see, right? And also the CPMs are completely different, which means that the cost per view, which the advertiser is willing to pay for Phil's eyeball versus what the advertiser is willing to pay for the eyeball in Bangladesh is going to be completely different, right? So we were trying to, for this entire period, a lot of other things were happening and we were talking, we'll talk about it. But more importantly, we were trying to assign a realistic value by eyeball, which basically means that we wanted to create the economy to be so circular that what you're getting as a viewer in terms of the monetization is actually a percentage of the revenue that your eyeball is driving, right? And that's the only way this is going to be sustainable. There's no play to earn or watch and earn company in the world that can be sustainable until and unless it is based on real economics, right? So we were trying to configure those real economics. Someone who doesn't have anything to do in life and is watching the platform, let's say for 60 days non-stop, just trying to make money. And if we keep giving them the same amount of tokens as we're giving to Ryan for consuming content, that is a failed model. That's never going to work, right? But again, and this happens with any company that is being built up, any startup, you build and you learn, and then, you apply your learnings, you try to improve what you're doing, you pivot. And that's essentially what we've been doing. And now I think we're in a position of extreme strength because now what we've been able to build is it's economically viable, it is self-sustainable, it is completely circular, and in my opinion, it is a model that cannot fail, right? So the other thing that we really wanted to do was that we should not be giving tokens from a company treasury for people to consume content when there is no real revenue backing it up, right? And yes, it took us time to have the optimized platform that you see today, which has partnerships with all the ad exchanges, and now the revenues are dropping in. And so now is the time to restructure the economics of the token economy in a way that whenever there is an advertising revenue that is being booked on the platform, there is a percentage of that is being utilized to buy back the token from the market. So which basically means that when you as a user or you as a content creator are making money on Myco, it should not be tokens minted by us or tokens that are sitting in our treasury and now going to you. They should actually be tokens that have been bought from the market, right? Bought in order to be distributed to the users. And that is the key challenge that we've been trying to solve. And within the next 1 month, you're going to get some really, really huge updates. There are certain things that because of confidentiality and NDAs that we had, we were not able to share with you guys. But trust me, we have been working with the best of the best in the world, the best Web3 companies in the world to help us solve this challenge, because this challenge was primarily an economic challenge, right? Our product now is great. We've got a brilliant team. We know where we're headed in terms of our content journey, in terms of the growth of the platform. But when it comes to the token economy and the design of our monetary policy on the token side and the issues that we had identified, solving them, it was not a job that we could have done ourselves, right? And we didn't want to do it like that. We wanted to bring in the best in the world, and that is exactly what we did. And as I said, unfortunately, it wasn't the time to share those updates with you, but that time is now coming very, very soon. We're talking about, in less than 4 weeks, you will be hearing some huge updates, which are obviously huge for every token holder. And now you will understand why we've been building such a solid business, because now that solid business is going to start having a direct value accrual into the token economy, because now there is a direct correlation between real revenues. And trust me, this is the only Web3 business in the world that would have revenues at the scale that we have, which will be able to fuel the token economy and build a token economy which is sustainable, not only in the bull markets, but also in the bear markets, right? And that's precisely what we're doing. And you guys will be thrilled and excited once you learn more. And I can tell you that, we're going to make history together. And we're really thankful to all of those community members who've been, through this entire cycle with us, through thick and thin, who believed in us as individuals, as entrepreneurs, as founders and co-founders. And we can tell you that one thing that will not happen is we will not let you down. We will never let you down. We will make sure that one day, when the time comes, you can be proud of the fact that you can stand out and say that you were one of the earliest token investors in Myco or M Content, right? So yeah, that's like an overview. I'll get into more details as well, but I also want Ryan to have his questions ask what he thinks. How many people, by the way, now we have on YouTube?
Let me
Just
check.
wondering.
It'll show me as a viewer. I see 165.
165. All right, cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned. Let me get on Twitter. Yeah, I like that you mentioned a Web3 project like ours that has quote unquote like Web2 revenue coming in. Because when you think about Web3 projects, I can't name another one. There's Web3 projects that bring in revenue from Web3 to build, but I don't know.
But again, revenue from Web3, what is revenue for Web3? It's not really revenue, Ryan. It's selling your own tokens or your own NFTs. That's not revenue. It's not sustainable, right?
Right.
So I don't think there is any project with a revenue, even a real revenue, let alone a Web3 or Web2 revenue.
Right. And I think it's important to note that, all of our community members understand that we have a revenue coming in from content that's like, it affects the whole world. It's in every country, it's in every language, every religion, it's everywhere, and I think it's awesome that we're building into this space that can affect the world, It's really crazy if you think about it. Yeah.
So again, while I go on and tell some more of the details of what we've been doing, I also want to ask if there are any questions, if someone wants to come up. I know most of the people right now are on YouTube, so obviously you can type your questions, and we are going to try and read them out.
I see someone mention marketing. We do have a upcoming marketing plan in the works. I know people have been asking about this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. I'm sure you guys will as well. I think the main thing with marketing is we wanted a more finished product before doing this, and especially in the bear market, you see so many projects just throw out marketing money, and the return on investment, the return for value is not great, because in a market like this, money is just changing hands inside the market. There's not the outside money coming in to see growth in the whole market. So
see, again, marketing in Web3 is a very important topic in my opinion, because if the marketing is being done just to bring additional retail investors into the token, then it's not really marketing, right? Because marketing is always done for something that is sustainable. Marketing is always done to drive real revenues into a business, and then structure the real revenues in a way that they can actually have a value flow into the token economy, as I said, right? And that is why over the past 10 to 12 months, I believe it was not even the right time to be spending money in marketing and trying to create more awareness about, what Myco is doing and how Myco is going to create this content platform of the future. But yes, now that time is coming, and now you will see how aggressive we are in terms of our marketing and how it all connects together, So yes, we've been very aggressive in terms of marketing and user acquisitions on all the live content, especially the sports that we've done. As you guys know, we've had some huge numbers with sports like paddle tennis and cricket, and recently we did backgammon. That was also a big success. We're about to do the ICC Cricket World Cup, as I said. And you need to understand the numbers, right? Because these numbers are going to be spectacular. You're talking about now with the Cricket World Cup, our anticipation is that our registered users are going to beef up all the way from 2.5, 3 million users to roughly 7 to 8 million users over the next 2 months, right? And this is a very realistic target. You could even see this going much higher. But what I'm saying is an incremental 3 to 3.5 million users. That's a very, very realistic target, right? And with what we're doing again on the platform, and how we're about to announce changes to our wallet infrastructure, how the connectivity is going to be much more easier, how an average user will be able to withdraw their rewards within tokens and then convert them into fiat in a very seamless seamless journey which anyone can do. You don't have to be a crypto native to do it. When those changes are implemented, you're talking about potentially a platform that has 8 to 10 million users just this year. I'm not talking about later, because obviously by the end of next year, I'm very confident we will be at 20 million users. But let's say we are at 10 million users by the end of this year. Now, out of these 10 million users, with the restructuring that we're doing and the announcements that we're going to make, you are potentially talking about easily 20 to 25% of them having connected wallets, right? At least 20 to 25% of them being connected to our Web3 economy. And again, those numbers are so huge. If you compare the on-chain traction for some of the top crypto projects or Web3 projects out there, if you're talking about 2.5 million active blockchain users on Myco, we will be on the radar of some of the biggest VC investors, some of the biggest exchanges. And again, by the way, we will have some announcements about exchanges as well.
Yeah.
But, we will be on everyone's radar, because then you're talking about us probably being one of the very, very few projects that will have active blockchain consumption or on-chain activity in excess of 2.5 million users. And we're very close to being there, right? So yeah, the key message here is, so one of our oldest community members, I know he's based in Europe, and I'm not sure if he's there or attending, we would have seen him. Mm-hmm. But I felt that there was a need of, giving more clarity on what we've been doing and how this is in its entirety linked to the token holders, right? Because I think that connection at this point in time is missing. And some people believe that we've been building a profitable business for ourselves. That's not the case, This is a brand that has been built with a lot of equity capital coming in from some of the most reputed institutions in our region. And that equity capital has been deployed to create an ecosystem and a platform which is going to pay back into the token economy. It's completely reversed, and we are not profitable by any means. If you believe that we are a profitable entity and, we've used the raises that we've done on the token to create a profitable entity, that's completely incorrect. We've actually burned a lot of capital, and we burned a lot of capital to build where we are today. And that capital is coming from institutions and people who believe in us. So it is basically, in a way, it is the founders' capital that has been deployed to build this, right?
And I think we're one of the, after meeting all these projects and learning about their funding, you meet a lot of founders that get funding and maybe give themselves a little pay raise, And there's not that many projects like ours where all the funding goes into the project, all of it,
So you guys, some of you who've been following us from day one, you know about my profile as well. So I was on a very, very decent job, mm-hmm. 2 years ago when I quit my job and started doing this full time. So my personal finances at that time were, exceptionally solid. I was the CMO of one of the largest conglomerates here in UAE. I was making a very, very decent salary. In our case, it's completely opposite, by the way. So it's been almost more than a year where majority of the team members, including myself, I volunteered and taken the biggest hit on my salary. But a lot of us are actually working on half the salaries that we would get outside in the market. I'm probably working for 1/5 of what I would get outside in the market. Right?
I think I'm making less, and then I even took a pay cut for the company,
Exactly.
Wanting to be sustainable.
So we're trying to build something for the community, and this is who we are. And for us, success is defined by pride that we can pass on to you as our early investors. The next upcoming announcements that you're going to see, as I said, are going to be exceptional. Some of you will be thrilled. Some of you will be extremely excited. Even the ones who believed somehow that there was a disconnect in the middle and we were not doing enough for you, I'm pretty sure once you hear all that's happening, it will revive your complete trust and faith within the team. The message here is never doubt us, because we've always been working for you. We haven't been working for ourselves. We haven't even been working for our equity investors. Trust me, the amount of value that flows from our equity business, people investing into our equity business and then passing on the value to the token is exceptional, right? So token holders are actually the beneficiaries of this entire ecosystem. So we've been building for you, and we've been working for you, and soon you will start seeing the results, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let's take a look at YouTube to see if there's comments. I see one. As we know, the value for token holders is in the form of token price going up. So will there be something in the new economic that will gradually help token gain price appreciation organically?
Yeah. So what's the name of the person who asked?
Wakas.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
I think
yes.
I have a good answer, but go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Please. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as Umair mentioned, within the platform, right, we have all this Web2 revenue, ad revenue, selling sponsorships with live sports, things like this, and all this is used to buy the token from the market, right? And so this keeps buy pressure on the token. And for us inside the platform, we find as many ways as possible for users to have an increased experience by spending tokens, right? So it could be boosting videos, if we do staking in the future, or whatever it is, this sends tokens back to the treasury. This makes your user experience on the platform even more amazing, which also decreases the sell pressure overall in the economy. So I just think a successful platform like we're building is going to really benefit token holders, especially as we grow and scale the platform, which is where we're headed.
Yeah, but again, the most important thing. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
That was a really good responsibility. But I think the biggest difference is, as I said, trying to find a way to make the economy circular, right? And as long as we are a platform that is aggressively growing in users and revenue, which now we are, and there is a way for us to always pass on a fixed percentage of that revenue to the users using value flow into the token. And that is, trust me, that it was such a complex equation that it has taken us a lot of time to figure this out. But we've been able to figure it out, right? And now how the entire thing is structured is that there will be, on every dollar in revenue that we're making on the platform, 35% of that dollar, which is 35 cents, is being utilized immediately or in a structured monetary policy to buy the tokens from the market and then distribute the rewards. So it's not just distributing the rewards, because that will not make sense, right? So we've been able to create a circular economy. We've been able to create real fundamentals, and these are the kind of real fundamentals that no one has, right? We've done a lot of research around this. No one has the kind of real fundamentals that we've been able to build. Yes, obviously, finding a way to connect all of this back and making sure that all of it is automated was the big challenge, and which is why it has taken us so much time. But now, we're very close for all of those fundamentals to be implemented, and you will start seeing the results, and you will start seeing how sustainable the token price will be from that perspective. Because yes, there will obviously be content creators and users who would want to withdraw their rewards and convert them into fiat, but at the same time, there will always be a positive buyback happening within the new economic model and the new monetary policy with that 35% of our revenues, which will ensure that there is always a positive value flow, right? Which means that the buyback, even if 90% of the people who are being rewarded are selling, remember the buyback is happening for 100%, right? So which basically means that there will always be a positive incremental value coming into the token economy through the massive platform that we've created.
Amazing answer. I see one question. Will the full platform be officially launched this year or next? I think what they're getting at is after we're done testing the platform, we get it to a more polished state where we're very happy with it. Will there be like a re-official launch of the platform, or what's the plans with that?
So I think, as I said, the platform as a product experience now is almost at its optimal. As you guys can see now, everyone who uses the platform loves it. The optimal experience on the platform is missing on the wallet functionality side and on the economic side, as I said. Because remember, right now, the biggest challenge that the crypto industry is having, and by the way, I was so just to also tell you, for the last 1 week, while Ryan and Hani were in Singapore doing a great job, raising the Myco flag and getting all of these key stakeholders holders excited about Myco. So in the last 1 week, I was a speaker at a conference called IBC in Amsterdam, which is the International Broadcasters Conference. And over there, the entire conversation was about video infrastructure and data and, all the problems that are there, all the technical side problem within the traditional media industry. People were amazed at what Myco is building and how a blockchain-based streaming service like Myco can actually address so many gaps that are prevalent in the market, both from an infrastructure and platform side, as well as from a creator and a producer standpoint, right? And let alone the user side, because the user side is obviously, it completely blowed them. People were blown up by the idea, they were blown away when they heard how the users now have actual power within the economy, not just to monetize their consumption, but also be a part of the creative process and be a part of the governance process that we've set up. So again, great response. The second thing that we did then was in Zurich, which was the Web3 Fest, which was again huge, almost more than 1,000 people coming together. These are all crypto Web3 native individuals from different parts of the world. There were like so many speeches and panels, and a lot of them I was able to attend because obviously I was coming from Amsterdam. I couldn't attend the entire event, but Saturday was the main day, which was the unconference, and some really high profile companies were participating. But same result, when I was able to get that opportunity to be on stage and talk about Myco, people were absolutely blown away, because remember, the biggest problem right now that the crypto industry as a whole is facing is sustainability. And sustainability is a subset of the fact that there is no real economy, whereas we have built a real economy. Second biggest problem that the crypto industry has is adoption, right? Even till now, you're talking about a user base that is still in millions, right? And it's the same set of users being targeted by different products at the end of the day, right? But there is no adoption. And adoption is going to come through business to consumer opportunities such as streaming, and Myco is at the forefront of building such an ecosystem which can potentially drive the next billion users into crypto. And people understood it, and all of these are like leaders in the space, and they really understood what we're doing, and they were blown away that why they haven't actually thought about this, because they've been focusing a lot on infrastructure and gaming and other plays within Web3 which they felt are going to drive adoption. But after listening to Myco, I think 99% of them were convinced that gaming is not the largest play in Web3 from an adoption standpoint. Streaming, video consumption and streaming, and music to some extent, these are the largest plays in terms of bringing the next billion users into Web3, right? So again, amazing reception we had there. And then after that, even in London, I had some really interesting opportunities. I attended a really exciting conference where we met lots of VCs who were, again, excited about what Myco is building. So, people are thrilled, and you guys should be thrilled, because if people who are forefront leaders in this space, are thrilled to hear about what Myco is building, then the community members who've stayed loyal to us for the past 2.5 years, you guys should be absolutely thrilled, and we will make sure that you're thrilled. And I think now we've set up a process whereby you'll be hearing a lot from us on a very regular basis. I think I'll also be speaking to you every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And the other key team members and leaders and co-founders, they're also speaking to you regularly. You guys had a really interesting session, I believe, yesterday or day before yesterday.
Yeah, a couple days ago. And then we had, we talked about the Myco Labs and updates a couple days ago. And then the week before, we announced the Myco Lab, it's super cool. So if you guys haven't learned about it, we have a Twitter space recorded, or, on Telegram, we can tell you more, or anytime, It's just a way for young and talented filmmakers, people who don't have opportunity, they can submit on our platform. It goes on the platform. They submit to us. It goes on the platform, and then our community gets to decide, which films get funded by helping them reach 35% of their goal. We did it in the past with called M-Seeds. but now it's more structured. It's scalable. It's bigger. Luckily, Phil's listening in. Phil was helping us grow this. Very brilliant in the film industry. So shout out Phil. So we're very excited about it, especially with a partnership of Dubai Film Society helping bring in filmmakers and new content for this. So it's very exciting for us.
Awesome. So I think today we should keep it short and sweet. I think we've shared enough. We've shared the challenges that we were solving, and now maybe the next time we do it, we will share more about how we're solving those challenges. Right?
That'd be great.
And what we've done, and maybe also start revealing some big names in there, so that people get more and more excited. Unless there is a pressing question that someone has, maybe anyone wants to come up on stage from Twitter Spaces, let's give them the opportunity. Ryan, otherwise, any question from YouTube, we want to take like last 1 or 2 questions.
I don't see new questions. I see Aben, one of our oldest community members. I think he won $300 in a prize at some point. He said he's still waiting for it. Brother, we'll take care of you. I'll take care of it this week, or we can include this in our big plans coming up. I think you'd be more excited about actually. So,
Also, by the way, not to forget, and this I'll talk about more in detail, but I know there are some community members who messaged me and, they're like, we burned, we remember, we had like a big community burn event. So some of them actually messaged me in my DM that, we burned the tokens because we loved the project so much. But at that point in time, nothing really happened because of that. And again, by the way, the big announcements that we're going to be making, one of them is related to the fact that we have a very huge token supply, and we've been able to find a way to address that as well. But again, that's like secret. I don't want to reveal more right now. But the issue with the huge supply will go away. Which means that we will have more and more demand, which means that the token becomes more and more valuable. But at the same time, it does not mean if the issue is addressed, it does not mean that whoever burnt their tokens for the community and for the project, your effort is not going to be wasted, right? We still have record of all the wallets that contributed to that community burn, and trust me, the benefit that you're gonna get is going to be much bigger than the benefit that people who did not burn will be getting. Everyone will be getting a benefit with these huge changes that are happening over the next month. But I can tell you that the people who burnt their tokens are, at least for me, they're the most valuable community members.
Right. And Crypto Minnow is in here. Shout out, man. Thanks for joining us. He said he respectfully asked that Maiko hold an AMA once a month. Well, we're going to do this every other week, every other Saturday. We're going to be on camera speaking to you. Yes, address user issues and build confidence in the platform. So we're going to be doing this on video and more Twitter Spaces as well.
Yeah, by the way, for Crypto Minnow, I think this is, I know you, by the way, he messaged that on Twitter. He said that, and again, kudos to him. He was one of the most motivated community members. He would go to film festivals and, on his own expense and do the shout for Maiko. When we announced the community burn, he burned 100% of his holdings at that time, and then he bought new tokens. Incredible spirit, right? So someone like that, we're not going to let go of you, trust me. And even if you have sold your tokens, you should know that with what's coming in the next 1 month, as I said, for members who burnt their tokens, there's going to be a big, big surprise. You will love it once you know what the surprise is. And you are one of those guys. I remember clearly that you were the guy who burnt all of his tokens. So even though you've sold, don't worry, you're still part of the community, and we'll make sure that you are part of the community with that redemption against the community burn that we will be doing. So all I'd like to say is welcome back.
Yeah, and for me, I know with you specifically had maybe harsh words for us on social media. We've always been upfront with you guys. We're not the kind to just block someone from our page, not listen. And look at that. You made this comment, and then we're here doing these video AMAs every other week. So we appreciate it. We take feedback if it's positive, negative. We've always been this way. Always try to reach out on DMs, figure out what's going on with users. So we're excited to kick this off, make it regular, and start growing this community, especially with the announcements and huge things we have upcoming.
So from now until the next 4 weeks, Ryan, our objective should be that we need to revive all the energy and passion and the belief within the community, and get everyone together again like we used to, because when that big announcement comes in.
Is your mic off on Twitter? Oh, there we go.
So yeah, I think our objective here should be that by the time we make that big announcement in the next 4 weeks, we need to have the same kind of numbers that we had.
Yeah.
I remember we used to do our Twitter, our YouTube live, and we had like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 every time people tuning in, right? So we'll make sure, even in this bear market, because remember, as I said in the absolute start, that with what Micro has been able to build now and what we're about to announce, this is the only project in the world which will have no correlation to what's happening in the market, right? Because whether it's a bear market or a bull market, we're creating our own market, right? We're creating a real economy, and it will be driven by real revenues, which are directly related to consumption of content, and content is an industry that will always thrive, right? So we will take the element of speculation. Obviously, an element of speculation is always there, and when the bull market comes in, Maiko, in that sense, will obviously be also one of the beneficiaries, but you will all be beneficiaries. But really what we're building here and what we've been able to create, there will be very limited correlation between the market and our progress, right? So yeah, I think that's the biggest key takeaway from today's session. And I'd like to say thank you to all of you who've tuned in unless there's someone who in Twitter Spaces who wants to raise their hands and come in and ask something, obviously not the team members, but anyone who is not a team member and he has something to say, please feel free to come up.
Yeah, I don't see anyone raising their hand currently.
Yep.
And I think we're good on questions from YouTube as well. So maybe we wrap this one up and see you guys in 2 weeks then.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
See you. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Really appreciate it.
See you. Bye.
I have to get up and end this since we're the producers today too.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.